Before, to our regular council meeting, and before we get started with our caucus, we have a couple of public comments tonight, and I'm going to start with Phaedra Norrell. Phaedra, please remember 3 minutes, and I need your address too as well.
And don't worry, that's part of my talk. So good evening, council members. My name is Phaedra Norrell. Address for the record is 1971 Liberty Road, Stowe, Ohio 44224. First of all, we'd like to thank you for not renewing the $1 million bond that matured on February 1st. And we'd encourage you to continue not to renew the $2 million bond set to mature on August 1st. As Israel continues to escalate the genocide, World Central Kitchen has ceased operations in Gaza due to the lack of supplies. And as Israel has imposed a complete blockade of the Gaza Strip since March 2nd, allowing no food, water, medication, basic building materials and supplies such as tents, none of it has entered since March 2nd. Aside from the humanitarian impact of these bonds, they are not sound investments, as Moody's has maintained their Baa1 rating. We'd encourage you to continue to choose Summit County and its residents first and invest those dollars here at home. Thank you.
Thank you, Phaedra. And then next we're going to have Matthew Shabazz. Come close. Just come on. I need your address too in 3 minutes.
Yes, 1197 East Waterford Court.
Thank you.
Okay, hello. We are here today to encourage Summit County to not reinvest in Israel bonds that will mature on August 1st. We have been coming to County Council for more than a year to make our case the county should invest locally rather than in foreign governments. These bonds are one downgrade away by credit agencies from being considered too risky for Ohio to legally invest in. We have been told by yourselves and the fiscal office that neither of you have an intention to reinvest in these bonds. We are very pleased that Summit County did not reinvest in Israel bonds that matured on February 1st. We commend you for keeping your word on that, as we told the press at the time. We are here today to bring public attention to the August 1st bond maturity. You have given your word that you will not reinvest, and we are here to ensure that pledge is honored. And please consider using these funds instead to invest in improved public services. Summit County just voted overwhelming in favor of library improvements at the expense of raising property taxes. People love public services. Please invest in more of these and less in war. Thank you.
Thank you. And then I have Carly Riggins. Would you like to come on up and do your 3 minutes?
I would love to.
Carly, I need your address, please.
Gotcha. Hi, my name is Carly Riggins. I live at 1010 Ashwood Lane. I just went up several flights of stairs, so bear with me. It's nice to see you all again. My name is Carly. I'm an organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation, the Akron Palestine Solidarity Collective, and I think most excitingly, the statewide Ohio Divest Coalition. Earlier this month, on May 3rd, we brought together over 200 organizers from across the state of Ohio, all with the same goal of ending investments in Israel bonds and reinvesting in our communities. And it was absolutely incredible, and I'm really excited to get to tell you all that we now have 5 different counties across the state of Ohio that have allowed investments in Israel bonds to mature without reinvesting. So thank you for being a part of that. Thank you for listening to us. I want to make it clear, thank you. You've all been very receptive. You've all been very kind to us. We care about this so much that we got over 200 people from around the state who all want the same thing. And that was promoted not on social media. It was done kind of secretly because people are paranoid. And it was massively successful, and people are really excited and people are really passionate about this. And when we told them that Summit County had ended investments, people were thrilled. I want you all to know that people really care and that it means a lot to us that you've listened so far and that you've been receptive. And please keep it up. Thank you.
Thanks, Carly. Next is Dr. Jadala. Come on up, sir. Sir,
Yeah, it was working.
Dr. Jadala, please state your,
Yeah.
your address, please, and
Sure.
remember 3 minutes.
Sure, Ahmad Jadala, 6184 Westington Drive, Hudson, Ohio. I have these invites. I know I sent it to you guys, I think, via email, and I'm hoping you guys can attend. I know a few of you said you can. I know 5 city council members are going to attend, and I think the executive office is going to send people from their office to come and listen and hopefully learn, and that's what we're all about. That's what kind of what Carly said. It's about educating, and this is about truth and justice. And when we talk about the Israel bond thing, it's I want you to invest in everyone. This is not against one group of people, one ethnicity, one religion. This is about justice. This is just in the same lines that we don't invest in other countries with poor human rights records or that are committing atrocities. And this is where the Nakba event comes into play. The Nakba, and you'll see on these pictures here, the pictures on this cover letter thing here are very similar to the pictures you're seeing now, where people are being displaced and dispossessed. And I'm sure you guys you read the newspapers like we do, and you listen to the news. The talk from what this regime and what some Israelis want to do is they call for a second Nakba. So they're admitting there's a first Nakba, and they're calling for a second one. And for us to be complicit in that, which I know you guys are not, and I appreciate you and applaud you for doing that. You guys were the first county in the state to say that they're not going to invest in any more Israel bonds, and it's gotten national attention, and for a good reason. And I think when you look back at this, I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but at least you could look back at it and say, hey, we did the right thing, and I want to thank you all for that. Now, as far as the Nakba event, it's Dr. Rose Esber that's coming to speak. She's studied extensively, spent time in Israel, Palestine, and also studied the British Archives in London, and has researched it and has pretty much gone village by village at accounting of all the massacres and dispossession that occurred. And again, it goes into why there's millions of refugees, including our families that are displaced. So if you could please attend, I'd like it. If you have registered already, I appreciate it. Thank you. If you haven't, please let us know, because we'd like to get a head count, because we will have coffee and Arabic pastries afterwards, and just helps us with planning. So thank you very much for keeping your word and your support. We talk to other communities, and they say, your city council is that nice, your county council is that nice, and I say, yes, they are. And not only is that, they're understanding and they're willing to listen, and that's all we can ask for. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Jadala. Just a friendly reminder before I get started, too. I'm going to request an executive session, so before we adjourn tonight. Okay, there are 4 motions. Let's see. M0212025. We have Jessica Sublett here today. Jessica, you want to come on up and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so nice to see you all again. Jessica Sublett. I'm the president and CEO at Bounce Innovation Hub. I have worked at Bounce since we launched. I was employee number 1 as our chief operating officer back in 2018. So I'm very familiar with Bounce and the ecosystem, but I've been in the Greater Akron economic development world since about 2014. So I've been working in this facility since 2012. I was at the University of Akron Research Foundation. So very much involved in economic development here in Akron, and have made this my place to keep my career going. So. That's all I have to
Anybody have
say.
any questions? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Next is M0232025. We have Sylvia Trundle here. Yes. Would you like to come on up and introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sylvia Trundle. I'm a retired Akron captain, and as of June 30th, it's been 8 years since I proudly served the Akron community in the police force. Since the 8 years have passed, I think I've been maintaining my engagement in the community throughout Northeast Ohio through various board services and locally through other agencies. And I am excited at the opportunity to have been asked to serve as a board member for the ADM. So if anyone has any questions.
Jeff?
It's a great choice.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for all the opportunities you've given me.
John?
I miss not hearing you on the radio in the morning explaining what happened the night before.
Thank
Captain Sylvia Trundle.
Those were the days back then, yes. Now I'm part of the problem, and I have fun. But again, thank you so much for all the support I've been given through the years in my previous role and everything going forward with some of the boards I've served on currently. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. There are 19 first readings. There are 2 first reading passage requests. 2025140. Brian Harnack will address council. Hi, Brian.
Good evening. My mic isn't working, so I'll just come up here. This is for, basically it's a renewal for the lease with the license agency. It says Ohio Department of Public Safety. That's actually the license agency up there. 2 years, just a straight renewal, $22,952 for the 2-year period. And then we will be looking at adjusting that after 2 years. So take any questions.
Liz?
Got your check-in before, thank you.
Sure.
But just wanted to float, since they're passing out $600 million for stadiums, that perhaps it's time for us to jack the rent rates up for
I
the
hear you.
state. That might be an idea we
Yes.
can try.
And we have this flagged to like I said, without saying it earlier, to adjust that rent one next time, because absolutely.
Any other comments? Thank you.
Sure.
Next is 2025141. Phil Montgomery to address council. Sorry, Phil.
Thank you, Madam
Did
President.
I?
Phil Montgomery from the Executive Department of Finance and Budget. We have a bunch of grant items on this cycle's legislation for appropriation. The first 2 are reductions of appropriations to close out 2 old grants. The next one is an increase in appropriation to close out a grant. On to the next page, we have a new grant for economic development. Looking at the next one, we have a new grant for the medical examiner. On the 3rd page, small grant for the 2 small grants for the domestic relations court. The last item on page 3 is appropriating funds for the Board of Elections. This is to spend down reimbursements they receive from the state, so we add the appropriations as those dollars come in. And on the last page, we have an increase in appropriation for the engineer's office. You'll see a small transfer in and transfer out amount to move cash, and then adding some additional appropriations to finish out the project. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Is there any questions for Phil? No? Thank you. We have routine legislation found on pages 6 through 9. There are no second readings. There are no third readings. Please rise for the pledge led by Councilwoman Bethany McKinney, followed by a moment of silence. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Ms. Hyam.
Here.
Mr. Donofrio. Mr. Cajun.
Here.
Ms. Dickinson. Mr. Ford.
Here.
Mr. Wilhite.
Here.
Ms. Darrow.
Here.
Mr. Lacotte.
Here.
Ms. McKinney.
Here.
Ms. Walters.
Here.
May I have a motion to approve April 28, 2025 minutes?
So moved.
I have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motions for council. M20, 2025, a motion of council confirming the reappointments of Executive Eileen Shapiro with Greta Johnson as alternate, Judge Lisa Colts, Clerk of Courts Tavia Golansky with Anthony Gomez as alternate, Leanne Graham, Akron Police Chief Brian Harding, Judy Hill, Cassandra Holtzman with Catherine Pomeroy Van Horn as alternate, Robert Incorvati, Major Matama Kalima, Lisa Kamlowski with James Armstrong as alternate, Prosecutor Elliot Kolkovich with Brian Loprenzi as alternate, Craig Morgan, Lori Pesci, Joe Perry, Judge Linda Teodosio with David Horner as alternate, Amy Wade, Jim Lawrence with Lori Lawrence as alternate, Mayor Shama Smolik with Tony Ingram as alternate, and Mike Randall with Julie Howe replacing Bernie Rochford as alternate to the Criminal Justice Advisory Board.
Do I have a motion? I have a motion on M02202025. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
M21, 2025, a motion of council confirming the appointment of Jessica Sublet, replacing Ebony Yaboa Amakwa to the Development Finance Authority Board.
May I have a motion? I have a motion on M0212025. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
M22, 2025, a motion of council confirming the reappointment of Lisa Holland Toth to the Humane Commission.
May I have a motion? I have a motion on M0222025. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
M23, 2025, a motion of council confirming the appointment of Sylvia Trundle, replacing Charles Twig to the Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board, ADM Board.
I have a motion on M0232025. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
First readings, 2025-140, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute a lease addendum with the Ohio Department of Public Safety for office space at 1030 East Talmadge Avenue, located in the city of Akron in Council District 6, for a 2-year term from July 1, 25 through June 30, 27, for rent in the total amount of $22,952 for the executive emergency.
I have a motion to suspend the rules and adopt 2025-140. All on the suspension, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
2025-141, a resolution appropriating funds in order to meet projected expenditures for the balance of 2025 as set forth in Exhibit A for the Executive's Department of Finance and Budget emergency.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules and adopt 2025-141.
I have a motion to suspend the rules and adopt 2025-141 on the suspension. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
2025-142, a resolution authorizing the publication and legal notices for the proposed public improvement known as the Copley Ditch, County Ditch Number 38 Improvements Project, located in Copley Township, and setting dates for the public viewing and public hearing pursuant to Section 6131.07 of the Ohio Revised Code for Council Emergency. 2025-143, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a professional service contract with Environmental Design Group Incorporated as a best practical source for the final design of the stormwater basins and channel improvements at the Penguin Drive and Glenmont Avenue area located in Coventry Township and Council District 8, and in an amount not to exceed $263,640 for the engineer emergency. 2025-144, a resolution authorizing the executive to advertise for bids for the Canton Road and Sanitarium Road intersection project located in Springfield Township and Council District 8 for an estimated total cost not to exceed $396,178.48 for the engineer emergency. 2025-145, a resolution authorizing the executive to enter into agreements for the acquisition of various easements over portions of 1766 Canton Road, 1796 Canton Road, 1787 Canton Road, and 1880 Canton Road located in Springfield Township and Council District 8 in a total amount not to exceed $4,010 as part of the Canton Road and Sanitarium Road intersection and pedestrian safety improvement project for the engineer emergency. 2025-146, a resolution authorizing the executive to enter into a project funding and maintenance agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation concerning the construction of a water detention pond on as part of the State of Ohio's Rest Area Dot 230020 project at an estimated cost not to exceed $257,000 located in Bath Township and Council District 5 for the executive engineer emergency. 2025-147, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a construction contract with Sistones Excavating Services Limited Liability Company for the 2025 Summit County Culvert Replacement Program in an amount not to exceed exceed $126,182.20 for the engineer emergency. 2025-148, a resolution authorizing the executive to enter into an agreement for the acquisition of a drainage easement over a portion of 2807 Medina Line Road located in Richfield Township in Council District 1 in a total amount not to exceed $600 as part of the Medina Line Road Culvert Replacement Project for the engineer emergency. 2025-149, a resolution approving and accepting a re-subdivision titled Colony Ledges Development Number Replat Number 1 located in Sagamore Hills Township in Council District 1 for the Executive's Planning Commission and the engineer emergency. 2025-150, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a purchase contract with Brown Equipment Company at Sourcewell pricing for one new Ford Utility Service fuel transport truck in a total amount not to exceed $119,065 for the engineer emergency. 2025-151, a resolution authorizing the executive to execute a lease amendment with Cleveland Clinic Akron General Medical Center for approximately 24.7 acres of land located at 1596 and 1621 Flickinger Road, located in the city of Akron in Council District 8, to modify the term of the lease for an additional 5-year term from January 1, 2026 to December 31, 2030, with 2 options to renew for additional 5-year terms for rent in the total amount of $1 per year for the executive emergency. 2025-152, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a purchase contract with Tyler Technologies Incorporated as a best practical source to provide annual maintenance services for the countywide computer-aided dispatch and records management systems for the period July 1, 24 through December 31, 25, and in an amount not to exceed $350,553.73 for the Executive's Department of Public Safety Emergency. 2025-153, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a purchase contract with 460 Tech Limited Liability Company doing business as Be in Court as a best practical source to provide annual maintenance with on-site support for the Criminal Justice Virtual Courtroom Project for a 1-year term from July 1, 25 through June 30, 26, for an amount not to exceed $330,731.42 for the first year, with 4 options to renew for an additional 1-year term for the Executive's Department of Public Safety Emergency. 2025-154, a resolution declaring Friday, June 6, 2025, as Gun Violence Awareness Day in Summit County to honor and remember the victims and survivors of gun violence, and to join in calling for the prevention of gun violence by wearing orange for the executive emergency. 2025-155, a resolution declaring the month of June 2025 as Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month in Summit County, and to raise awareness about Alzheimer's disease and other brain diseases and dementias for the executive emergency. 2025-156, a resolution declaring Sunday, June 15, 2025 as Elder Abuse Awareness Day in Summit County, and encouraging residents to participate in any events and programs designed to raise awareness of and prevent the abuse of older adults for the executive emergency. 2025-157, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of Change Order Number 1 to a professional service agreement with Mazanek, Raskin, and Ryder Company Limited Partnership Agreement, and in an amount not to exceed $100,000 for a cumulative increase of 133.33% for a total amount not to exceed $175,000 toward the cost of continued legal representation and services on behalf of the county in the matter of Antonia Williamson versus Sheriff Candy Fothery and others for the executive and the sheriff emergency. 2025-158, a resolution confirming the award by the Board of Control of a purchase contract with Forerunner Technologies Incorporated as a best practical source to provide support for the county's net phone systems for a 5-year term, 5/1/5/25 to 5/24/2030, for a yearly cost not to exceed $19,145.74 and a total amount not to exceed $95,728.70 for the Office of Information Technology Emergency.
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules and adopt the routine agenda found on pages 6 through 9.
I have a motion to suspend and adopt routine legislation found on pages 6 through 9. On the suspension, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And on the adoption, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And at this time, I'll make my little paper here. Let's see. May I have a motion to go into executive session for the purpose to discuss an investigation into complaints against public employee according to Ohio Revised Code 121.22. Okay, roll call.
Mr. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Hyam. Mr. Donofrio.
Aye.
Mr. Cajun.
Aye.
Ms. Dickinson. Mr. Ford. Mr. Wilhite.
Aye.
Ms. Darrell.
Aye.
Mr. Lacotte.
Aye.
Ms. McKinney. Ms. Walters.
Aye.
And at this time, I ask the audience to please leave the chambers, except for individuals that are asked to stay, and please turn off the cameras.